Hi everyone, Aaron with AOP Tech here, and today we're going to be continuing our series in the Google Admin Console, specifically when it comes to Chromebooks. So this is my device. I absolutely love it. It's great, super powerful. I use it all the time. And I know that this is the time of the year when many schools and classrooms out there just maybe got that first delivery of maybe a cart of 30. And so we need to talk about, after we enroll them into the Google Admin Console, how we can do a couple things. We want to make sure we protect against possible theft or loss of the device. And we also want to make sure that we adjust the settings to make sure that the students can be both productive and safe as they use them in our classrooms. So let's get to learning. So here we are in the Google Admin Console, and before we begin, I think it's worth noting a couple things. One, the settings in this video have really been designed around a Chromebook cart-based approach. So the idea that these devices will be used throughout the day by many different students, and so we want to set up some protections and safeguards because of that. If you have gone to a one-to-one situation where the student has their own device for the entire day, I think some of the settings that we're going to talk about can be relaxed a little bit. So, with that being said, we're going to click on the device management icon right here. And once this loads, then we're going to click on where it says Chrome Management. Now, we do have another video that we're going to be talking about the user settings, but today we're going to scroll down and we're actually going to click on the device settings. Now, as this loads, we want to make sure we pay attention to our organizations on the other side of the screen here. Because we want to make sure whether these settings impact all users, only students, only teachers, and that's really something that I think, depending on the number of devices you have, your school community, you may want these changes to affect all the devices. Maybe you only want them to affect student logins. So as I scroll down here, the first screen that I want to highlight is the Disable Device Return Instructions. So that's if a device has been lost or stolen. Someone has come to me as the Google admin and said, hey, this device is missing, the cart number 29. What can we do? So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I lock down that device. And it's helpful if on the screen of that device, I can have a message of like, hey, it belongs to our school, please return it to us. Whether this happened maliciously or maybe somebody just accidentally put it in their book bag at the end of a busy day, we want to make sure that the device comes back to us as a school. So by putting in the contact information of the school, maybe a phone number and email address, so that when someone can say, hey, I have your device, I'll bring it in on the following day. That's always a helpful thing to have in right here. I'm going to continue scrolling down, and we have our sign-in settings category, specifically guest mode. And when it comes to guest mode, I don't want students to be able to sign into guest mode because I lose the ability to identify who's using that device. And I want to make sure I know who's using that device. So for this case, I would switch that to do not allow guest mode. Coming down, we have restrict sign-in. This allows you to kind of add another layer of security. And we're going to use the wildcard here. So the wildcard, if you read the directions, is an asterisk. And then you're going to add in your domain here. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent anyone outside your domain from using it. And so that helps in case, if it were stolen, it wouldn't be useful to anyone outside your organization. So that's a really important one as well. And then right underneath there, we have the Autocomplete Domain. And this just is going to ease the use of them instead of having to type, especially for those schools out there who may have very long domains. To have your users have to type out the entire name of the school, that could take some time. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select Use Domain Main Set Below. And what that's going to do is when they go to log into the Chromebook, the domain's already been filled in. They just have to put in their user address. So again, save some time and add some security as well. Underneath that option, we have a sign-in screen option. And having been to one of my high schools who did not have this enabled, when I pulled out a device, there were 15 different kids' pictures on the screen, and that actually can cause a distraction. I saw some of the pictures may not have been appropriate. And you know, it's really complicated when the screen gets filled with all the pictures and you have to like add new users. So what I recommend is changes to never show names and photos. That way, every time someone opens up their Chromebook, regardless who had it before them, their screen is going to be nice and clean. It's going to have one spot for them to enter their username and password and then sign on. I don't need to see all the different user pictures on that home screen. Coming down, we have the user data section. Now, for me, as a cart-based approach, I want to make sure that whoever used that Chromebook before me, their data is erased so that way it's fresh and clean for the next user. So in a cart-based approach, I would recommend switching this to erase all local user data. We all know that Chromebooks work offline, and the way it does it is by saving some of the information to a very small hard drive on the Chromebook. I like just to erase that data in a cart-based approach. Now, if this were a one-to-one environment where that same student's going to have the same device day after day, they're taking it home, they're using it, in that scenario, I would leave this as do not erase local user data. So it really depends on your rollout here. We can continue to scroll down, and we see some update settings, kiosk modes. We also have the ability to set up some power management when the Chromebook will shut down. I like it to be able to shut down if it's on the screen. If it's just sitting there idle, it'll automatically shut down. This is going to save some battery. And then down here we also have, if you're interested in setting up cloud printing, this is one of 2 locations that you would actually have to go to set up the cloud printing right here. So hopefully this video has been helpful in setting up some of the Google Console device settings. We will have another video that I recommend checking out on the user settings coming out shortly. Certainly, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you could, definitely click that subscribe button. It really helps us connect with the other educators within our community. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.